on the earth like him. He's blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. And Satan says, I shouldn't have gotten there, but here's what it says. Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied, have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You've blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and his herds spread throughout the land. But now stretch out your hand, strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. So here we get a glimpse of a scene in heaven where the devil shows up. And God is like, where have you come from? The devil's saying, well, I've just been roaming around the earth. And God is like, have you seen my man Job? He's righteous. Nobody like him. He fears God. And then the enemy's comeback is, well, the only reason he fears you is because you bless him so good. And he says, if you remove the hedge of protection, let me mess with his stuff, he'll curse you to your face. And for those of you who have read the book, God's reply is, go ahead. Now, also, I don't know about you, but I do know the first time I read this and I realized that this is the reply, I'm like, wait, what now? What's happening here? Why is it that a good God is about to allow a good man to suffer? And I just want to give you this, spoiler alert, the book of Job never explains why God allows a good man to suffer. Never. You don't get any satisfaction. My wife and I have been watching this TV show on Netflix called Your Honor. Have any of you seen that? Yeah. Now, see, I almost stopped watching that show because I'm like, hey, there's some messed up stuff happening here, and I don't see no justice. Like, stuff ain't right. There's some serious inequities going on in that show. So in the same way, you read the book of Job and you see that God, a good God who has all power, has allowed a man who through his own lips he says is good. He allows that man to suffer, and you read the entire book of Job and there is never an explanation as to why God allows this. Instead, what we get is confirmation of all of the human assumptions and responses that we go through when we suffer. So Job starts to suffer, and Job has these three friends who show up in the midst of his suffering, and he and his friends have this debate, and the debate is about whether or not God is really a God of justice. Interestingly enough, and I just want to throw this in here, is there's no conversation about Satan. And by the way, the Hebrew term Satan means adversary, and it's actually pronounced Satan. I don't know where we started saying Satan, but it's Satan. And there's no conversation. It's just God. And their conversation is this debate about the justice of God, and they've all come to this conclusion that God is a God of justice. Thus, if you honor God and you're good, God will give you good things. But if you dishonor him and you're bad, God will bring upon you bad things. This is the conclusion that they've come to. The challenge is this conclusion contradicts what God himself said about Job. Now, his friends are not privy to the conversation that God and Satan have. So the friends, their assumption is, Job, you messed up. Job, somewhere, you done did something wrong. And Job is like, I've done nothing. I'm innocent. I'm an innocent man. I've done nothing wrong. Job's friend is like, well, listen, Job, for the Lord to mess you up this bad, you had to actually have done something really, really bad. Then they start making up sins. Well, Job, listen, we know that you probably did some wrong to some